because they had to take off early. I mean, the whole deal with the Blitz on London, I believe that was caused by potentially a mistake by British bombers. The Luftwaffe was bombing. Yes. And that's kind of what the Dambusters raid was. It was a psychological win. It wasn't particularly an effective win. This has to go in through the... right. I lost where I was now from that comment. But there were all sorts of raids that, strategically weren't particularly successful, but psychologically they were. Oh yes, the start of the Blitz. Up until that point, the Luftwaffe were attacking Britain's airfields, and was seriously damaging the ability of the RAF to do anything successfully, because they were damaging the airfields and destroying the planes. And I believe it was British night bombing attack, drop bombs on Berlin, and I don't think it was an intentional thing. They were supposed to be attacking something, missed and bombed Berlin. And Hitler was incensed and basically ordered the Luftwaffe to bomb London into oblivion, which is why they changed their tactic and stopped bombing the airfields, which would have destroyed the RAF at the time. They were, the war of attrition, the RAF were losing, but as soon as the bombers went for London instead, it gave the RAF time to breathe and recover. Why aren't you coming off there? Seriously? There we go. Grab a straw and stick it in the thing. Yeah. Gonna fix your tractor. But the whole thing is, part of the whole thing is why Britain's rail system today sucks so badly. It was designed by, it wasn't designed, but it was built by private companies who all wanted to terminate in London. So there's dozens of different stations terminating in London for each of the rail companies of the time. And no plan for the rail companies' networks to join up. So, if you want to go from North London to South London, it's, you can't, if you want to go from somewhere north of London to somewhere south of London, it's not very easy to get a train directly there. and part of the reason that France and Germany have such good railroads today is because they had the Second World War tramping through their countries, and so you had tanks and the like all driving across the fields and ripping up the train tracks, and because of that they got to completely rebuild their rail system in late 40s, early 50s from scratch, and Britain didn't, because the worst that happened was high explosive or fire bombs got dropped on the rail yards, and the main infrastructure was left in one piece, which is kind of unfortunate. America, I don't think, ever had a coherent rail system. Britain, as I said, kind of did, but up until the late 1940s it was competing rail companies, and so they all did their own thing their own way, and they served the towns and cities they went to, but didn't do anything much beyond that. And now, British Rail is a legacy, or British Railways is a legacy of the inability to rebuild. I'm looking for cows. Okay, that's 20,000. We're going to want about 4 more. And actually having a rail network that was fashioned from Victorian times. Grandfather on my dad's side was a radio operator for the RAF. He flew in Handley Page Hampdens, which was a British 2-engine light bomber, and his story was he was out on a 2-plane raid, and they had his plane had engine trouble. He ended up getting shot down by the British guns at Dover, and the reason that happened was to stop the Germans finding downed aircraft, fixing them up to fly, loading them up with bombs and sending them back to bomb England, which they'd done a couple of times. And basically, British defences said, okay, Bomber Command will supply the anti-aircraft batteries on the coast with the schedule for bombing missions. So, time out number of aircraft, time back number of aircraft. And obviously time back number of aircraft was kind of the expected number of aircraft, because we're probably going to lose some. So the other plane in their flight obviously made it back in time, got counted in as, okay, here comes the plane, and it's per schedule. But my grandfather's plane, because they developed engine trouble, their plane was flying slower, so when they got back to the coast they were outside their allotted return window, and so the guns opened up on them and shot them down. The crew survived, but I think my dad now has the photo of him and his crew stood next to the downed plane in a field, along with the farmer with his pitchfork who'd come to meet them. Huh? What are you doing? Oh, jump out. You want the tractor on the other side, actually. You're by the fuel pump. Okay. I've lost count. Oh, the horses need straw? That's a problem. Okay, so now you run to the back of the trailer and walk up to the back gate, press R. And then press M. That repair. Press M again. Oh, it did. Okay, press M again. Okay, yeah, so it did repair it. So now if you press R again, it will shut it all up. And then you jump in the tractor and it's fixed. The fuel tank is you park it on the other side and you start the engine that's behind the hitch of the trailer, and then you can jump in the tractor and press the refuel button and it'll reload. Yeah, I tend not to. Oh, I'm going to have to fill this thing. I might do that actually. So you want straw for the horses. The horses want some straw. Before going through this hay like nobody's business. Yeah, I'm not too worried about that. So I can only bring this thing over with one thing at a time. There we go. Okay, cows are fed. I'll check just to make sure. Everything's green. Cleanliness is 94%. No point doing any more for that. So, I'll grab the bale shredder, which isn't as great as I thought it was. But, it works. Oh, don't fall out. Do not fall out. You've got to be kidding me. Really? That's it. Just poop. That might be able to be arranged. Go away. There we go. Having issues here. Let's... Okay. Right, let's do that. Lift that up. There we go. And try and put the bale back in that thing and then drive off with it without it falling out. Gee, that might work. There we go. Boom. It's all sorts of bad. Well, it's in the bucket. bale is not actually the right way around, but it's good enough. How are we doing for money? 60. We're poor. That's because we bought 4 more cows. How long before we get a new cow? 150 hours, no? 164 hours till we get a new cow. Awesome. Oh, okay. That sucks. We'll probably move to a new map before we get the cows. Well, I'm definitely going to sell the horses though. Before we move anywhere else. Okay. So, somewhere over here. Yeah, open the gate. Oh, there it is. It's okay. Whee! What? That's cool. That's why we bought it. In Farm Sim 17 you used to be able to just drop a full bale into the area and it didn't matter, and so the question came, why on earth am I buying a bale shredder? Because I can just drop a complete bale in the delivery point and not waste the money. Now for 19 they changed that rule and they said, oh, you've got to shred straw bales, but all of the other bales you can just drop them in as is. So I mean, I would have thought technically you need to shred hay and straw and silage as well. You don't want something that launches the bale contents into the paddock. You want this thing needs to clean out. You kind of want yeah, it's okay, I guess. Okay. You kind of want something like a food mixer. I am stuck in here, so we're going to have to jump to the tractors. There it is. Okay, 10 o'clock. Hush. Did that start the tractor? What are we doing now? So, cows are fine. Horses have been ridden. Oh, I see. Yeah, they're going to need hay before much longer. That's fine. Our fields are all planted and oh, let's back up one. Grass. As soon as these stop being harvested and start growing again, we'll be able to drop some fertilizer on them, but they're kind of frozen for now. So the next thing we could do is bale some hay. So let's go do that. So you made any advancements on your World of Warships career yet, long hauler? Sorry I couldn't make it last Friday, but our contractor cut through the cable at 4 o'clock. So we were without internet for the entire weekend. Rather unexpectedly. I'm going to take the mower. Oh, well, I need two other things, actually. The next thing I will need is the thing that's next to the mower. No. The tedder. That's the thing down here where I am, next to me. You crashed into my tractor. Okay, so let's take the contract. Did I take the contract? No, I didn't. Okay. So this contract's going to pay us 9,000, which is quite nice. Yeah, I was a little bit upset. I missed the... when they do ranked sprint, they tend to do 2 seasons back to back. And I didn't realise they had started the first round. And so last week, I think I played 2 ranked sprint battles, lost the first one, won the second one, made it to rank 9, and then the next day when I logged in it said, hey, the ranked season ends and you made it to rank 9. So I thought, oh, well, that was a bit sad. So I figured, okay, well, you start the next ranked season tomorrow, so we'll try and play more than 2 games. And sadly, that was the day the internet went out, so I ended up, I haven't played any ranked sprint, and there's probably only about 3 days left before they close the season. So I'm probably not going to complete that. The ranked sprint is a good way to get flags and camouflages and stuff like that. A bunch of them. I got a load of flags, so it's not that much of a hardship. Go away, babies. Especially if you play on a budget, because you can get flags free. You can buy most of this. Most of the rest of the stuff with in-game currency. The trick is keeping up with the income with the outgo. Although the latest announcement was they're not going to be doing premium consumables anymore. They're going to phase those out. Well, they're going to phase out basic consumables and only allow us to use premium. That's kind of okay then.